And welcome back to the Factor Uncensored, and thank you for hanging around for the second half hour. We're continuing to see the impact of the overturning of Roe versus Wade. Women across the country are looking into options for long-term birth control before the start of the new year. Now, here's why. There are fears about potential changes in insurance coverage, personal circumstances, and health care policies under President-elect Donald Trump's administration. My next guest tells me her patients share those same concerns. What is this all about, doctor?
Yes, we've had quite a few patients every week come in wanting some type of birth control, specifically a long-term reversible contraceptive, just because they're concerned with the Trump administration and all the different comments that were made on the campaign trail about taking away insurance coverage and things like that. So they're concerned that they're not going to have access to these services or it will be affordable after he takes office. So yeah, we definitely have been seeing that.
And what are some options that are out there right now for women for long-term birth control that is also reversible?
Yeah, so it's a type of contraceptive called LARCs. That's what we call it. It's the long-acting reversible contraceptive. So an IUD or an intrauterine device is a common one. There's a lot of different brands out there, but there's the intrauterine device goes into the uterus and it can last for anywhere up to 3 to 10 years, depending on which device you choose. There's also an implant that goes in your arm that we inject a little bit of local anesthetic right here, and we put it a small rod right under the skin, and that can stay for up to 3 years. So that is an option as well that some people are exploring. So
Mhm.
those are the two most popular ones that people are looking for now because they know that it'll be in throughout his entire term.
Obviously, politics is not your game. Helping people, saving lives, medicine, that's your game. Are you concerned that politicians could take a look at some of the devices and some of the processes and procedures that are currently on the books and say, hey, let's get rid of that too?
Absolutely. That's a huge concern of mine. As an OBGYN and a women's health advocate, I am concerned about that because, women want to make sure that they have all of their different options available to them for contraception. And so, with politicians, inserting personal opinions into this matter, it definitely makes our job a lot more difficult. And you're going to see a rise in unwanted pregnancies, which is also another issue, especially here in Texas.
Was there a chilling effect after the overturning of Roe versus Wade with the medical, with the doctors in your business, in your field, particularly OBGYN? Were you guys just like shocked and like, we're going to see a lot of scared patients now?
Absolutely. And we are. After that happened, we had a rise of patients getting all types of like back alley abortions and things like that, which is increasing risk of septic abortions and them getting sick, infections, potentially losing their uterus. I've had patients come in that have gotten all types of random medications off of Amazon or from India or other places because they're desperate. And yes, it's concerning. And then now you're seeing a bunch of patients that don't have a medical degree practicing medicine on themselves and putting their body and their reproductive health at risk.
And for those who are interested in the long-term procedures, is there any type of testing that you have to go through before you get that device or that injection for long-term birth control?
Not
Are,
too
are there any
much.
people at risk that may have pre-existing medical conditions that you don't suggest get it?
Yes, there are some people. So definitely making sure that you see a provider who offers those contraceptive options to do a full medical history and exam to make sure that you don't fall in that category. Of course, like patients who may have like copper allergies and things like that, they can't get the one that has copper in it.
Mhm.
So there's, some different things like that, or people who have had a history of maybe breast cancer, hormonal breast cancer, or blood clots. or stroke or things like that, then those are some examples of patients who we probably wouldn't go the hormonal birth control option, which are the long acting reversible contraceptives.
Any other advice for women out there who may be watching tonight, who may be considering this process? What would be the best piece of advice you can offer to them?
Best piece of advice I would offer to them right now is get in to see your healthcare provider, your OBGYN, to discuss these options if you're trying to look to get some type of long term contraceptive option. And definitely making sure that you're asking these questions. Don't be afraid to ask these questions with your doctor so they can find the best one for you. And just, continue to advocate for yourself in these situations.
All right. Dr. Tamika Cross, founder of Opulence Health and Wellness in Pearland, Texas. We appreciate your time here on The Factor Uncensored tonight.